welcome to Frightmare HQ. Today we are live with these beautiful faces that you see on screen right now, and we've even got a clown in our midst. We've got Charlie the Clown. Is that your name, Charlie?
Carlos Blueberry the Clown.
Carlos Blueberry. Honk honk. and Billy, you're wearing a mask today.
Yes, just we're trying to practice social distancing. I don't know what the Parrish and Bill between those two. There's no telling what you'll catch.
Oh man!
even through a live Zoom, right?
Yeah, it can
Even
happen.
through live Zoom.
It's called radar love.
Radar love.
Yeah.
So we're all up on the screen right now, and you guys look like Hollywood squares. So I want to introduce everybody. I'm sure most people already know who you guys are, but down in the lower left corner is director Billy Pon. Yay, Billy. And
we're so excited.
Up in the upper left corner is actor Parrish Randall. All right, Parrish. And
Hey,
right
glad to be here.
dead center of your screen is actor Bill Oberst. Welcome to the show, Bill.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Parrish and Billy. We're glad to have you on today.
Yeah, welcome guys.
Glad
So
to be
what we're
here.
doing is we're celebrating the new release of Circus of the Dead. Billy, tell us a little about Circus of the Dead. When did this all start? When did Circus of the Dead start for you?
You know, honestly, Circus of the Dead technically started with the haunted house of mine called Circus of the Dead Murder Maze. But then Grindhouse come out with Tarantino and Rodriguez, and I did a fake trailer and got some advice for the first time from, and I didn't even know him at the time. I talked to him on MySpace with Stacy Davidson, Sweatshop, Jacob and all that. And he gave me some good pointers. He did a trailer too, and I did a fake trailer for that, which was Circa de la Muerte, which was Circus of the Dead. And I said, someday I'm going to make this into a feature. But then I tackled the short first, a character out of Circus of the Dead, which was Dollboy, made the short in 2009, screened it at, I think, Frightmare in 2010 or 11, and that's where the whole career started, and eventually got to Circus of the Dead, making it. I guess we filmed it in September of 2013, screened it with you guys at Frightmare on a Friday and Saturday night in 2014 in May, and then we didn't get it out until 2017, but it was very limited because I did it myself. And now we're actually doing it the right way. So all those years later, here we are.
How does that
Very
feel
nice.
to go wide scale, worldwide, basically, with this now?
It's gonna feel good. But honestly, I was so nervous the first time that this time I really don't care. It's just I'm letting the chip, and in the sense of I just let the chips fall how the chips fall. I just don't stress about that. And since it's come out the first time, I battled cancer and all this, and man, I just can't take some things like that. I'm not going to stress about them no more. I'm just going to let it fall how it's going to fall.
That's a
Just
great
let
attitude.
it go, right? Whatever happens, happens. That's how we got to do things nowadays.
You do, because if you
Right.
take it too serious, you stress about things that don't even happen. Sometimes you're upset about something that didn't even come true. So
And you
I've
can
got-
see, Billy, I don't take anything seriously.
no, you don't.
So
Yeah.
that's how I live my life.
I've got the new poster art up. It's the square version of it, and this is
Very nice.
yeah, this was kind of a transition or an update on the original, right?
Yes, they took the artwork, and then I think a John Tabor did it. Now he's a filmmaker too. We haven't met, or we're not even Facebook friends yet, but he's the guy that did the artwork. And of course, Gabe, our cinematographer, took the photographs when we were in Odessa.
Yeah, and it looks great. I love it. I think they kind of spiced it up and added the clouds in the background and stuff. And
No, that was all really there.
oh, was it really?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. There's actually
So
like
that's where you-
there's one solo bird flying in the background behind Bill's head. I think where you could see one bird in the air flying. That was about all that was in the sky that day.
I
So
see.
Odessa, so that's primarily where you filmed, was Odessa?
100% in Odessa. Yep, downtown.
Nice. We love Texas made, so great.
I do too. Even the next one is I've got some offers to film outside of the state, but I just love Texas so much. So it's going to take a lot to get me out of Texas to film.
Yeah,
It's good. We don't
yeah.
get enough in Texas anymore, so it's good to
Right.
hear.
I want to put it on the map, man, is my goal. That's my goal when I set out, and that's what I always tell Parrish. I said, I love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and what Toby and those guys did, and that's just to follow in their footsteps is all I've ever wanted in life.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Big lofty footsteps to fill, but I think
Big
you did a great job with it. I'm a huge fan of your work, and I love Mr. Fister and Doll Boy. I mean, those are
Doll Boy,
just incredibly good flicks, man. And Circus of the Dead just kind of carried that on.
Well, that's what we hope to do in everything in life is get better. Unfortunately, I can't say that in my sex life, or my wife won't tell you that. But usually, everything I try to do is to get better than to get worse. So.
Oh, it's okay. She tells me you're getting better all the time. So. All right.
She's sweet that way.
Well, Bill Oberst is he's holding up. Is that a clay guy figurine there?
Yeah, it's a clay guy figurine, and
Nice.
this is Papa. And I really think that Papa Corn has the makings of being an iconic figure, not because I played him, but because of the way Billy wrote him and Billy and Gabe shot him. There's something about him. I hear from a lot of people who really, even though he's a murderous, sadistic, necrophiliac, homicidal rapist, people really seem to like him.
Well, there's
It's a
something about
heartstring.
we love our villains, man. I mean, we love Freddy Krueger, we love Pinhead, Michael Myers, Jason, and I think you're right. I think you're onto something, and I'm hoping even more people discover Circus of the Dead this round, because it is, your character is worthy of that iconic figure status in the horror genre.
And it's a great name too, Papa Corn. It's a great name.
Lloyd, he truly terrifies me because nothing matters to Papa Corn. Like the thing that you think matters most in the world, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters, whether it's big or small. There's nothing that matters to him. And it's like all epitomized in this one little moment in the film, which is a tiny second, but he opens the door to his closet where he keeps his cards, his Loteria cards. And there's like 3 chicks back in there, and they're hooked up to battery cables or something. And they're going, ah, ah, ah. And Papa just looks at them and mocks them and says, ah, 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 and closes the door. And that's like his attitude on everything you care about is, ah, ah, ah.
How does Papa Corn feel about COVID-19?
Is he wearing a mask?
Yeah, is he wearing a mask or is he not?
Billy?
Well,
Billy's got to answer that one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm wearing a mask, that's for sure, when I go out. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I mean, it's sad that we're in such a time that you don't know what to do. It's like they got you so confused out there, but I'd always be rather safe than sorry. So, I don't think it kills me or whatever. And they said, well, you're not going to be cool or whatever. I said, I'm not cool anyway, so it don't matter to me.
But the question is, what about Papa Corn? We're
more
not talking about
away.
real world.
He's kind of stuck in his own thing. I think part 2 picks up where they're kind of in hibernation on the downtime of the circus season. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That. I actually gave a big teaser about it during the original movie of when Bill's talking to Parrish in the back, you can hear the lady talk about the Wheel of Destiny. And that's what Circus of the 2 is actually called. Circus of the Dead 2 is the Wheel of Destiny. And he's basically doing a court setting where he's persecuting all these people they've rounded up throughout the off season, and now he's going to put them to court, and they got to fight for their lives. Basically, is what they got to do. But none of them's going to win.
I think Papa would adhere fully to CDC guidelines because he would think that it was really funny to adhere fully to CDC guidelines while he was copulating with severed heads.
That's a good point. Yeah,
that's the answer we wanted. That's the answer.
He'd have a nice mask on, just having his own
Oh,
fun.
totally. And
That's
he would
hilarious.
make a point of letting everyone know that he was very hygienic as he copulated.
He'd be washing his hands. He'd be like, hold on, before I get ready, mask on, wash these hands, 20 seconds, guys. I'm ready.
How's he going to drool though, Bill, with that mask on? He's in trouble. He's going to drown.
He would have to find other bodily emissions to substitute.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, exactly.
Maybe
Parrish,
you can hook up some tubes or something. Have
Yeah.
some tubes coming out.
Parrish, tell us about your involvement in the film. How did you get involved? You had a kind of a role that I'm not used to seeing you play very often.
Well, and I hope you guys can hear me. I'm hearing every other word or so I apologize. Bad connection from my end. But no, ultimately, Billy had contacted me. I met him at your show, Lloyd. Met Billy in 210, I think it was. And he had a dog, like, and anyway, in 2013, he contacted me. I was initially going to play the character of Roper, the sheriff or cop, I actually had prepared for that character and was in the airport going through security when my phone rang, and I looked down and was about to fly out to go to Odessa to do the part of Roper, and I looked down and Billy was calling me. I took the phone, and Billy said that there had been a change in plans. I'll put it that way. He can tell you whatever he wants. And he said, I want you to play Don. Would you consider it? And I'm like, hell yeah. I wanted to play Don to begin with. So I was ecstatic. And I asked him, well, how much time will I have to actually prepare to prepare for Don? He said, well, the flight. So, as soon as it was officer, so I'm no longer Roper. I was flying in to be Don. And but I gotta say, it's the best role I believe I've ever had, and I'm thankful for it. I'm grateful.
You should be proud.
Working for Billy was an awesome experience. All people.
Yeah, no, you're kind of breaking up but I was just saying that you should be proud of the role because it was a nice meaty role and it seemed like you really bit into it really well.
Yeah.
And it come out of nowhere too. Like I said, he was saying that he was getting on the plane, and I called him and said we're going to switch him to that role. Instead of coming down for the weekend, stay a month with us, And Parrish, he said, heck yeah, that's even better anyway. But he read for that. We really liked his reading stuff. But what happens on indie movies sometimes is people come in thinking like the other guy thought we were a gore fest movie and that we didn't care about acting and all that. And I know it's scary for these actors the first time they meet us and stuff. Bill didn't know who he's going to meet. Parrish did because he met us at Frightmare. But, we could have been horrible filmmakers or horrible people on top of that. We just tried to do our best. But I think it scared the other guy off is what happened. He thought we were just going to make a gore movie and not care about acting or none of that kind of stuff. So we kicked that guy to the curb real quick and brought in Parrish because Melissa Land, our producer, really liked his read. And, but I always thought of Parrish as the, Parrish, the bad guy, the smart ass, and all this. And, but it was good to see him in that. It reminded me of Marilyn Burns a little bit in Chainsaw, the crying and all that kind of stuff. And
yeah,
it's impressive. It was impressive to see him cry and stuff like that. But when
we were shooting Circus of the Dead, that was a year prior to Maryland, and about every other night I would call Maryland. We were staying at this warehouse that Billy had secured, and Maryland had read the script, and so she said, "You're playing the male version of Satellite." So anyway, Maryland gave me full immersion, and but I'll say this, Billy made it very clear what he wanted. The script to begin with was well written, and then as an actor working up Bill versus Popcorn, Bill approached the role the same way I did. He was Popcorn who hated Donald, and I was Donald who feared Popcorn. So working with Bill was truly an amazing experience, and to be honest, thanks to Bill, my performance was what it was. Bill became that character to that degree that it truly instilled that fear in Donald, who I had become. So it worked well. Bill and I didn't go to the craft services table and chat in between takes and all, because if I had known Bill was Bill, because Bill was really a nice guy. I couldn't think of Bill as Bill Oberst. I had to see him as Popcorn and maintain that for months so that I could be terrified of him and react accordingly.
Yep.
So,
Well, you're breaking up a lot, but I think I got most of that. Let's go ahead. I want to go ahead and play the trailer. Is everybody cool with that when we watch the trailer? All right, let's try it.
Let's do it.
We begin with breaking news out of Odessa. 2 people have been found dead.
3 missing, 2 of them young girls.
Still no word tonight on the whereabouts of Alyssa, Hillary, and their father, Donald Johnson.
The death toll rises to 13.
Papa Corn! Papa Corn! Silence is golden. Daddy asked me to come by and keep an eye on you.
What are those? Tarot cards or something?
No, you'll figure it out soon enough. From the first sign of birth, we all deserve to die. I'm here by accident. I've got a big surprise for you. Welcome to the greatest show on earth!
All right, man, that is a great trailer. They
Oh yeah.
How was that one cut
Yes.
together? What did they do with this one?
Well, it just kind of come out of nowhere. Whenever Dredd did this deal, they sent me this trailer, and I was like, they go, well, let me know your thoughts. And I said, I mean, I've been so married to everything that we've done. I've done everything, you guys. I mean, I was over everything. So to see somebody just do it blindly like that was pretty darn cool. And I really liked it because it seemed like it made it more modern. And not to say that I'm stuck in an era or something. I think I'm a bad trailer editor, but they knocked it out of the park, and I loved it too. Loved it 100%.
Very
So
much, and
you
we're
didn't-
so happy to see, this come out properly with Dread. How did you kind of get involved with the Dread Central? How did this come about?
Well, and I tell people this is what's funny is when in 2014 when we were soliciting everything, we had 8 offers, on the table. Now, what's funny about the 8 offers is 4 of those places are already out of business. But that's what happened, and luckily enough, had a mentor at my day job that told me to contact other directors and see how their experience with these companies were. Well, that drove us to Distributor, which was put there to say their motto was, we won't screw the indie filmmaker over. But then they went bankrupt and screwed the indie filmmaker over. And and so coming out of there is there's a lot of other filmmakers that were I think it was, he was out there last year hanging around too. I can't remember. They did the Bigfoot movie, but anyway, they're real mad about it too. So there's 1,000 filmmakers mad. I said I was, and I said this might be a get out of jail free card. I said I'm gonna make up a letter and start contacting companies that I see are doing good by their people. And the first one I contacted was Dread, and I just basically said, hey, would you guys be interested in the movie? And they said Josh Milliken said he does chronic horror and stuff like that, and he said well, I'll take it to a meeting Wednesday. And in this business you hear a lot of people saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and it's mostly BS most of the time. But sure enough, he went to a meeting, and Wednesday afternoon he goes, hey, they're totally into it, let's do it. And I was like, heck yeah. So it just started there, and it was that easy. The first person I reached out to was Dread, and the first people to grab it was Dread. So
Yeah, so you did.
Very nice.
I think you were talking about Cherokee Creek, the big.
yes, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, Cherokee Creek.
Cherokee Creek, yes.
Yeah, and I've heard all the horror stories that they went through with their film. So,
Same here.
it's tough. I mean, you find out and a lot of times you don't even hear these stories until it's too late. So.
Well, you do at those, Lloyd, at those things you do for us, like the Fright Makers and stuff, is that's why that stuff is real important to me. Same thing with the fake trailer showcases, because that's where the next batch of people, and what they don't tell you when you're watching the classics to learn what you're doing is they don't tell you that behind the scene baloney that's gonna, that kind of stuff. That's what they need to do is somebody needs to tell them how to treat the actors when they come to set, or how to treat, this, or how to do PR and all this kind of stuff. And that's the stuff we're trying to get out there when we do these Frightmaker 101s and stuff with Chuck and Courtney.
Yeah, and you guys are amazing in doing those and you're just totally selfless. For everybody that doesn't know, Billy always reaches out to us and offers to do these things. And it's fantastic that he's willing to share the information with attendees that are sort of interested in making films, and even people that definitely are going to make films. So it's really a great resource, and we thank you for that.
No, well, it's the opportunity to, thank you guys, because it's helping, because we're seeing people that come to the first one 3 or 4 years ago now getting shorts or features into your festival, and they say, oh, well, we went to one of the Fright panel maker things, and now our movie's at Texas Frightmare Weekend. So that's the reward in itself, of seeing these guys, get their dreams done too. It makes me happy as happy can be. So
yeah. I have a question from one of our viewers. A.R. Ballard asks, Bill Oberst, what did you think of Billy's Odessa set and the world he created when you first arrived versus when you left?
Oh, great question.
That is an interesting question. Well, I had no understanding of the character, and all the choices I had in my head were wrong. So I learned pretty quickly that I had to lean on Billy because he knew this character. And so, yeah, once I realized that I was wrong about everything, it was very liberating, because I thought, okay, Billy and Lee Ankrum, they created this character, they know it. And so then by the time I was wearing a prosthetic penis chasing a naked woman down a parking garage ramp at midnight in Odessa, Texas, with a live cattle prod, I was very comfortable. And Billy,
that won't get you in character. Nothing will.
Yeah.
Lloyd, this is very Billy Pon. I've got and I've worn prosthetic penises before, but I've never chased a woman down a parking garage with one. And Billy hands me the cattle prod, and just before we roll, he says, "It's real." And I see the on switch, and I was like, "There's no batteries in it, right?" And Billy didn't answer, so we just did the scene. So I knew that possibly what was in my hand, had I caught her, could have hurt her, and it added to it.
That's hilarious. I've never seen Billy direct. I've never seen Billy on set, and I've always been curious. I've seen there's a promotional still of you as Papa Corn, and you're up against the wall, and
yes,
Billy is towering over you, and he's got his arms on your shoulder.
Yes.
What is he saying to you?
He was trying to touch my cheeseburger, and I said, "Motherfucker, you touch that burger one more time, I'm gonna."
See, Billy is so deprecating, Lloyd, but somebody needs to say that I think this man is one of the next great horror directors, because he's got this weird mix. You can see that he's very gentle, he's kind, he's aw shucks, but then he's absolutely brutal in his imagination. And that's what he was doing, was he was putting the brutality of his imagination into my mind so I could do the scene. And then afterwards, being as kind, well, stop. and then right afterwards, after we've done the brutality, he's just as kind as can be. And that, in my experience, that's the mark of a great horror director, because if they're just brutal, they're batshit crazy. And if they're just nice, they don't understand the genre. It's that weird mix. And Pon has it.
I totally agree with you. From all the directors we've met, that's how all the great ones are. They're absolutely crazy when they need to be, but they're super nice as well when they need to be for that. So I agree with you.
Charles, who does that sound like to you, Charles?
Quite a few people, actually.
There's someone in particular that I'm thinking of that you've had quite a few interactions with, or at least
Toby Hooper.
It sounds just like Toby.
Toby,
it really does.
He would do some of the weirdest shit, but at the same time, he'd be super nice. It's kind of just how Toby was.
Charles has so many stories of hanging out with Toby, and he was fascinated with so many things that were just a lot of people find revolting. But he's also the nicest man you'll ever meet. Tell him about. I want you to tell him just that short story about the bathroom.
Oh, well, like Toby, we went to go eat, and afterwards he was in the car with me and his girlfriend, and he started telling me about how he went to use the restroom, and then one of the stalls was completely filled with crap and vomit and blood or something. We were driving, and he's like, Charles, stop. You have to turn around because you have to go see this bathroom stall. It's so crazy. And he wasn't joking. He made me turn around, go back to the restaurant. Then his girlfriend was like, no, I want to see too. So I had to take her in there and look at this and see this vomit-filled stall. And then we get back to the car, and he's like, did you see it? It was so amazing and full of blood. It was just, you had to. It's like, I don't know why. He was just so nice and happy about it. That's how he was.
Well, that's why I wanted you to tell that story, because what Bill just said, it reminded me of Toby.
Yeah.
Well, you see these things and experience things in life. It goes into the memory bank. You know what I mean? And when I say, you know, it's like I got to design a really bad bathroom, it might have been the one that I saw and I put in the memory bank. And now, thank God, because of the phones, you can just take a picture of that kind of stuff and save it forever. And I got a lot of stuff like that before. 5 or 6 years before Circus of the Dead, with my flip phone or whatever, I was shooting pictures that, you know, would inspire me later for Circus of the Dead. So,
well, talk to us a little bit about Doll Boy, because Doll Boy is what got me really started down the Billy Pon rabbit hole.
Well, he's a part of the Circus of the Dead world, but I knew it's kind of just like I've learned recently. It's kind of easier if you start with the fake trailer than a short, and then, you know, move up to a bigger short and then to a feature, just so that way you can kind of get your feet wet. But Doll Boy is a character. We already had the costume. He's my brother-in-law, Sergio, and we had a really cool location, and we just put it together and pulled it out of our butt. Like, I think we shot 3 weekends. That's all we did. And back then we had maybe, our budget was $0, but we probably spent about $1,000. David Chacon, you know, who's in, you know him, Big Joe. He's been at all the Frightmare. He's the one that turned me on to Frightmare, said, hey, you should enter it at Frightmare. And I go, you know, what the hell is Texas Frightmare Weekend? And I said, hey, it's not going to do it. I said, it's horrible. And then it got put in there. And I remember that first time it was at the old hotel. And it was the first time I met you, and you guys made me feel special. It was the first time, you know, meeting Dieter Laser and Tom Six. And it just made me feel like somebody, you know, like the jerk with the cup, with the umbrella, could be somebody. I felt somebody, and it gave me the confidence to say, well, maybe I can do this. Maybe I should stick to this. Maybe it shouldn't be just a hobby. I should give it a shot. So it was really the confidence, you know, and sitting in that screening with, I guess it's probably a couple hundred people. And it just gave me the confidence to try to make a feature. Now, if I had it to do again, I wouldn't wait so long. I'd try to go a little bit faster, because that's one thing the cancer thing, you know, taught me, is quit waiting around and get things done. But yeah, Frightmare is my home. That's the place that made me. That's where I met Parrish. Parrish actually screened Doll Boy that year, and that's when I met Parrish. You know, I had to give him the disc, and he screened it for me. And I was like, what did this do? Just walk off a stripper runway? What the hell's going on with this guy? But he ended up being a really good friend, and we talked every year. And I said, man, I'm going to do a movie someday. You need to come out and do something with me. And, you know, we just stay in touch that way. And he's just a good bud. Comes out and hangs out sometime. But, yeah, I mean, just the people I met at Frightmare, and I'm like Charles says too, is Texas. It's all about Texas for me. I'm a homeboy when it comes to that kind of stuff. I just think my mojo's here right now. So if I could take that mojo with me and film elsewhere, then I will. But like Cowboys from Hell, that's talking about Pantera, and we need to make that in Texas. That's sacrilegious if we don't.
Yeah.
How are you? How are you feeling, Billy? I know you had the cancer. How are you feeling? How are you?
Well, honestly, I feel great. You can tell all the hair's back, even the nose hair and the ball hairs and everything. But
nice.
It's all back, Parrish. Anyway, I'm good, but the chemo killed me in my heart, and it knocked my heart down to 28%. So I'm good sitting here in this chair. I can do anything in this, but if I tried to like run to the bathroom or run back, I'd be okay, but I'd feel like I ran a marathon. So I get out of breath real easy now and stuff like that. I think Bill saw some of that out at Bastrop too when he was out there. So I just get tired on long walks or just that kind of stuff now. So I'm not going to be a marathon runner anymore, but I think my physique saved me from that a long time ago. So.
Well, I'm glad. I was really glad. I mean, you whooped its ass in quick time.
It was really hard, you guys. I've never went through that, and it's just like Jeb was going through it too at the same time. And you know, I've shook his hand out at Frightmare, but I didn't know him. And it wasn't until he got cancer and I got cancer, you know, and it popped up on there, and we started talking and stuff like that. A lot of messages between each other, and I can say that with about 4 or 5 other friends that aren't with us either. You know, I don't know why I'm blessed enough to still be here and they're not. And sometimes, you know, I see their people's kids and family, and I wish I could switch places with them because, you know, but it's like, I don't know, but it's got to be a reason. And for me just to flaunder it and not try to pay for it and be a good person is just disrespectful to all the friends that, have passed away fighting that kind of stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
I know it had
for
to
people
be
don't
rough.
know, he, like Billy mentioned, Jeb was one of our longtime volunteers, and he passed away last year, cancer as well. And I worked closely with Jeb for many years. He was one of my helpers for picking people up and meeting people. So it's very sad.
Yeah, I think most people, if they don't know Jeb by name, they know him by face,
Yeah.
because he had a presence that was loud and proud, man, and we miss Jeb so much.
And it's like you see us and you wouldn't, the last thing you would think would happen. But here's the thing, Lloyd, it could be you, it could be Charles, it could be anybody tomorrow. You just don't know. And that's what's sad about this kind of thing like that. And they talk about, different diseases, but boy, cancer, I'm telling you, I think 1 out of 3-4 people is going to get it, and you're going to know somebody that gets it if it's not you or something. It's just always happened. But we lost Latifah, Cricket. I called her Cricket. She was another one. Yeah, Latifah, and she was like one of the very, very first fans of Doll Boy back in the day and stuff. And she just, one day she went in for an operation, and the next day she's gone. And I don't know, maybe the Frightmare thing where we do the wall, we should do a little plaque with these people that are these long timers and pay some respect to those, so everybody can stop by and touch the top of it like they do those things on football. Maybe not with the Corona thing going on, but but that's what said. These people make all that stuff, and it's just a shame they won't be around anymore to see that. But
well, it's crazy because I started the show back in 2006, right? So it's been a long time, and my pool of people that I know has gotten so large because of Frightmare. It just used to you had friends and family, but now I've got this extended family with Texas Frightmare Weekend. And it's crazy how many people I've seen that we've lost: attendees, volunteers, celebrities, everybody. And the first one that kind of hit me was I think I had sent an email out to somebody about something Frightmare that was coming up, and I got a reply that person had died in a motorcycle crash. And it's just crazy that so many people that we've lost. But I'm so thankful that we have this family. I guess that's really what I'm trying to say, is we're all a big family, and it's so valuable to so many people. And it's all thankful to everybody that attends the show.
Yep. Frightmare's one big family. We really are.
Yep.
There's your slogan. It's not just a show; it's a family.
That's what people have told me for years, and I get that from attendees all the time. It's a family. It's not just a convention. We don't even, we get so many people that say, I don't even go for the celebrities. I go to meet my friends and say hi.
I hear that too. Yeah. But I guess y'all, I'm going to assume you guys refer to me as the pervy uncle.
We do. Absolutely, we do.
You're a pervy uncle.
What is that behind you, Bill? The Famous Monsters. What is that?
Oh, that's my convention backdrop, which I never get to use now, but I got like 4 Zooms this week, and I thought I'd just put it up. It's a quote from Famous Monsters, unwisely comparing me to greater people in the field. But I grew up with Famous Monsters, and they were like, the big connection for we small town horror kids. And now Dread Central is that. And so to have this movie being put out by Dread Central is, for me, that's like the gold standard. It's just, when Billy called me, I was just over the moon.
Yeah, that's just that's got to be an honor, because they've put out some really good stuff.
And that was part of why the decision. That's why we called them. They set that standard, and that's why they're first on my list.
We owe Dread Central, like you said. Dread Central is a great source for all our horror stuff nowadays. So I was so glad when I saw you first post that it was coming out by Dread Central. I wanted to clap because I was so excited for you and everybody. So very good. So
I want to know, Bill, are you a big horror fan, Bill?
Oh Lloyd. I mean, I was the stereotypical weird horror kid. I wasn't good at anything except imagining that I was a monster. I mean, I felt like a literal monster. I was different in every way that you could be different. And so monsters were my life. I loved them. I don't mean I tolerated them. I mean, I cheered for them and rooted. I wanted them to win. So my sympathies were squarely with the monster, and I think they still are. So I really only trust people who are misfits in the world. Anybody who seems like they fit in too well, I don't trust them. I like to see the chinks and the vulnerabilities, and I think I'm horror through and through.
Yeah. I know this is hard for a horror fan to answer, but is there one horror film that you can say is your absolute favorite?
Yeah, it's The Exorcist, and it's not because of the puke or the Dick Smith stuff, which was great, but it's because good horror has to have good versus evil, and both have to be really strong. Really strong. You can't have the villain going into a church and defecating on the altar and there's no consequences. You have to have good and evil, because that's the world, right? That's the tension. And then in the middle of that, you have to have the white elephant in the room of death. And so Exorcist does this perfectly, because at the end, good and evil have butted heads. There's been death, but you don't know who won at the end. You leave that movie not knowing who won, and that's the way we lead this life. We just have hopes. So, I like horror movies that are bound up with death, because death is it's the thing we never talk about. And I hear from horror fans all over. I just got a mail yesterday. I do a lot of weird, like, art house horror. So I hear from people in Europe, and I just heard from a young girl in Finland. She's like 16, and it was this weird, dark horror movie I'd done. And she was saying, this really has helped me, because here's the problems I'm having in my life in a very dark home situation. People need this catharsis, because if we don't talk about death, we're just going to internalize all that. Sorry, my answer was too long. The answer is The Exorcist.
No, it's a perfect.
Yeah, it's a great answer, and I agree with you. I think we all need horror, and there's something in our DNA that needs it, because I think horror stories have been told since we've been able to tell stories. And I think, around the campfire, you probably had cavemen telling horror stories about, the bad dinosaur. You know what I mean?
The evil woolly mammoth or something.
Exactly, the evil woolly mammoth. But I think it's ingrained in our DNA, and I think that the people that don't understand that are really missing out on something.
Me too. And horror fans and people involved in horror, and people like you and people like Billy, they're the kindest, most decent people you will ever want to meet. Yep. And the assholes, to my experience, the assholes are the ones who turn up their nose at horror and death and say, oh, I would never think about such things. Why are they the assholes? But the people who have T-shirts with desiccated corpses, they're the sweetest people in the world.
Yeah, that's true, though. I mean, people at Frightmare are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. They really are.
Yep. When we did that first show in 2006 at the little tiny Grapevine Convention Center, and Parrish remembers this. I got to say, I've known Parrish a long time.
I do remember.
Yep. Parrish was our first. I think you were our first vendor, weren't you? Weren't you the first one to buy a vendor table from us?
Yeah, we completed Quick and Get.
Yep.
And I was my day. I was stuck on line on my break, and I saw that you were having a convention, and it was the first horror convention in Texas. We talked about this many times. And as a kid, there were always conventions elsewhere, New York or LA, which when I was getting back in those days, LA or New York, so I saw you having this event. I called you and changed after event that year, 2006, and that's why Frightmare family, and you return and you come back, and it becomes more than just a convention. It becomes familiar faces and like kind. Everybody's celebrating, loving the genre that is horror. Bill mentioned something a moment ago about horror films, being done by usually the directors that make horror. They are the people that they're good natured. They're really kind and wonderful people. Most people think that horror filmmakers must be dark and strange and such, and it's not the case. It's it's good people who make films force us to confront our fears. Okay? And those people that made that part that I've known really super kind people. Yeah. And Bill also mentioned famous monsters of filmland. During that time that I mentioned a moment ago, when there were the conventions in New York or Chicago, LA, I was a subscriber to Famous Monsters. And I know, Bill, you probably remember before you. I wanted to go to the Actor Mansion in LA, and as a kid, obviously, I didn't get to. But again, 2006 was a pivotal point in Texas, not just for me as an actor, having the film screen there, but for everybody. It was the first event, thanks to you, Lloyd, where all the Texas horror fans suddenly, within driving distance, could come together, and people from all walks of life. I remember everybody from, there were people there that were doctors and attorneys, and there were the people that normally might not eat each other, laughing and talking about their favorite horror films. And I think the genre does that for people, and you gave Texas that venue, that party that now is annual. And so it's a phenomenon, and it's a gift. Frightmare Weekend certainly is.
You're too nice. You're always so nice about that, Parrish. And that's what I was going to say, though, was that that first year we were at that Grapevine Convention Center, and we had the people that ran the convention center had never really seen anything like that before. And they just came up to me at one point and said, wow, everybody's so nice. They've got mohawks and, they're pierced all over, but they're so nice. They just couldn't believe it. I guess they were expecting people to come in and just trash the place or something, but we never had any issues like that. And in fact, we had more compliments about how great the people were. So it really is. It's a family, and they're the nicest folks there can be out there.
And you have to, sorry, go ahead, Parrish.
No, I'm sorry. I just wanted to interject about the for Circus here. And Billy and I have talked about this. That is thanks to the fans of horror. They kept the film alive for 6 years. I mean, let's face it, it premiered back in 2014 at Texas Frightmare Weekend. And it is that little film that just didn't go away. And that is thanks to the fans. They embraced it. They kept it alive. And finally, now it's getting a wider exposure. Thanks to it. But again, everything we do is for the fans, thanks to the fans. Any of us that have careers.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, Billy, that you got a second chance at getting this re-release, because isn't that sometimes a stigma with some distributors? They don't want to re-release a film, or...
Oh, 100%. You're right. And I don't know how it happened. It's probably, Bill, your love for the Almighty has helped me out here. And he's brought some good juju from upstairs, I guess, because we're lucky and blessed for some reason.
Billy, not only have I prayed for your movie, but my mama. And if you knew my mama, she is the prayer lady. She's prayed for your movie.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I mean, if she's half as sweet as you, she's a good person. Now, Lord, I always tell Bill, I said, if you ever get to come to Frightmare, you're going to freak the F out when you see those Saturdays. When those Saturdays and you got to go to the restroom or something, and it takes you 30 minutes to get to a restroom just to cut through the people. It is something to behold. You've never seen that many horror lovers in their life at one place.
That's when you need the cattle prod. You need the cattle prod then. You're good to go.
Yeah, just bring that cattle prod with you, man. That makes me think. I get a lot of attendees that come up to me and go, hey, I just went in the bathroom and I pissed next to Toby Hooper. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
We get that stuff all the time. And Bill, we got to have you out sometime. I know we tried one year, but you had like a film shoot going on or something, and we couldn't make it happen.
I'd love to, Lord.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love to.
Yeah,
we'd love to have you.
Come out and see us.
So, What is the release date for Circus of the Dead officially?
July 14th. So 2 days.
Yes. Very nice.
Yeah.
And we're wanting you to get 100%, Billy, because we're ready for the second one. We're ready for the sequel. We're ready to see it.
We're going to do Cowboys from Hell next, and then Circus of the Dead 2. And we got to do a feature on Mr. Pfister too someday. And on that one, I'm going to be a little bit more lenient. We're going to have more fun on Mr. Pfister. I don't think I'm going to go for the flawless movie. I'm just going to try to do everything to appease the fans of Mr. Pfister, not just appease them.
I've got the image up that Dread Central sent over and of the Blu-ray, and it talks about the special features. First one is the world premiere at TFW. Look at that.
You know anything about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Were you there? You're actually on the video. Did you watch it?
I
somebody caught us talking, and it's us talking. You're asking me if I'm nervous about the premiere and stuff, and all that. I'm nervous and exciting, and I don't know what to do with my hands, Ricky Bobby, that kind of thing. But
I remember that conversation. You were so nervous.
Yeah.
And I think you were nervous too that nobody was going to show up.
Yeah, because I didn't know what was going on, but what you do is you let, I guess, VIP in first. Mm-hmm. So I didn't see anybody in there when I went in there, 10 minutes before. I was real scared. But what's funny, on Saturday night, after everybody heard, there was a line. There had to be a mile-long line that was going outside the hotel. People couldn't get in. It was standing room only by Saturday night. So that was unbelievable.
Hey, Lloyd.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever mentioned this, the reaction, but I took this film to Germany to Weekend of Horrors and screened it there.
Yeah.
And the German reaction, the Texas audience, that I've seen it with, the American audiences, they hoot and holler. The German audience was silent. I mean, completely. We were packed. We had people standing up, but it was completely silent. And then afterwards, the applause, Billy Pon, it was thunderous. And I mean, they took your movie seriously as an object of art. And afterwards, they were talking to me, and the translator, the word I just kept hearing over and over again was the brutality. And they meant it as a compliment. But they saw you as an artist. It was very strange to go through that entire movie, and they were silent. And then afterwards, they just erupted. So I think all of that is to say that I think it really has opportunities worldwide and not just for United States audiences.
Yeah, I wish I knew information about the Dread, because they got world rights from me, but I'm waiting. The head of the guy, I'm waiting for his answer. He's been overseas actually trying to sell it now, so we'll see what comes up with that. But hopefully that'll happen soon, because I'd love to get. We got German subtitles and all that, so we'd love to get it out over there.
I mean, the world is very dark right now, and Circus is a very, very dark world, and I think it may be a great fit
and a great time. Yeah.
It's a great time for horror right now. Everybody's thriving for these horror films, being stuck at home, and they needed a way to release, and that's horror. It always has been. So
it's crazy to me to hear the Germans had that reaction, because their stuff is pretty brutal. There's a lot of brutal German flicks out there.
Yeah, but they don't laugh at it.
They don't like that?
They don't laugh at it.
Oh,
yeah, they don't laugh. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Europeans, they've got an interesting taste for horror, and they're some of the most diehard ones, and it's always fun to see their reactions to films. I mean, I'd love to see that screening too. It'd be interesting.
You've also got a reunion documentary here. What's that special feature?
We shot that out at Bastrop. It's called Classic. And it was kind of, I guess, the first time we saw Bill in a long time. Bill, Parrish, Chanel, Tiffany, David Chacon, Roy Shuck, Rusty Edwards all made it out to Bastrop, and we did a Q&A panel. So it's kind of the first time. But yeah, we had a photographer there, and he pulled us behind the curtain and interviewed us what we thought about it and stuff like that. So it's pretty. I don't know that anybody else has seen it yet. Did I show you Parrish or Bill? Did anybody see that yet? Not yet. Yeah, you have to buy the Blu-ray. People ask now, "Hey, Billy, send me a Blu-ray." I said, I don't have anything to do with that anymore, so that's a good thing. Because taking care of, I was sending out for a while, having to send out 5 or 6 things a day. It was kind of getting old. Then I had to, cut it back and say, well, maybe I'll just go twice a week. But it gets kind of tough to do that. I'm a filmmaker, not a salesman, so I need to get that taken care of. So it's good to put it in Dred's hand, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Very true.
You've also got deleted and extended scenes. You've got Doll Boy is on there.
First time on Blu-ray. Legally.
That's awesome.
that I know about, yeah.
Well, that is a awesome list, especially getting Dollboy on there. If you can get Dollboy, that's like a hidden treasure, guys. So it's worth the DVD. I mean, the Blu-ray alone. And speaking of, you can buy this right now for $14.99 on Dread Central. That's an amazing price for a new release.
Yeah, everybody get out there and buy it because it's something you need in your collection.
Yeah,
Really.
and if you're interested in buying it, the links to purchase directly from Dread Central are in the description of the videos that you're watching right now. So you can just click in there and make the purchase. And then to wrap it up, we got new and improved trailer and classic trailers. What is that?
That's like the teasers and stuff I did. And I even put the teaser trailer of Bill running down the ramp, but that almost got me fired from my job at the time. Because my day job boss invested in the movie, or the owner of the company. My day job boss was my mentor, but we didn't ever want to show the owner of the company because we knew we couldn't do it. And he even told me, "Don't film that. I know it's in the script. Don't film it. Don't film the head, scene either." And I said I won't. But I learned from that same person. He said it's easier to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission. So, so
There you go.
that's what I did. I shot it and sucked it in. He goes, "Hey, you know what? It seems like it works and it fits." But I put that trailer out on a Sunday night, and he come in that Monday morning and called me in his office. And when he says, "Hey, come in and close the door," and I go, "You can't even tell it's so dark." He spun his computer monitor around, and you can see Bill's tallywhacker froze in midair, and I got in real bad trouble. He goes, "From now on, no trailers go up unless you get my approval." So
Technically, it was your tallywhacker.
Technically, it's yours.
People
Bill's
always
like
use
that.
that
Bill's
same
like,
thing.
I have not done any scenes of nudity. That is not my tallywhacker.
It's
They
not
say,
my
"Was
tallywhacker.
it?" They go, "Billy, was that a real penis on Bill?" I go, "It didn't taste real." But,
Oh, my
Just to make
Lord.
sure. You had to make sure. This guy's.
You kind of like you have a thing with tallywhackers. You sent me
weird, isn't
some
it?
stuff for you sent me some
Oh,
stuff for the
yeah.
bags for the show that in September, and everybody's gonna get all the VIPs are gonna get that. Tell them what that is.
that is, I forgot about those. Those are Papa's Peckers, and you know what? I don't even have any of those myself, Lloyd. They all went to you.
Is that right?
The printing company messed up, and then they shorted us amount of things or whatever. So we sent all we had to you. I didn't even get to save one for my collection. That's why I don't even remember. But
Well,
but
maybe
even Bill didn't get one. Parrish didn't get one. Nobody got one.
maybe we can convince some people to give theirs up.
Yeah, we'll make. I'll get some more made up. I'd like to get them at the table and give some out to the hardcore
very nice.
fans.
We haven't even told people what it is, though. It's a little bag of candy, and they're different colored penises.
Penises,
Peckers,
yeah.
tallywhackers. Fruit flavored tallywhackers.
And when you do this stuff, it's home marketing, so you got to bag those yourself. So I recruited the wife to help me, and now I don't know why she did this, but she tasted it and said they actually taste really good. So I had to try one. They're actually pretty tasty, Lloyd. So you might try some of Papa's Peckers. It's actually pretty tasty.
You need a commercial of Lloyd going, "I eat Papa's Peckers every day."
No, I think the tagline is, "I can't wait to get Papa's Peckers in my mouth."
They're just so darn good.
Yeah.
So VOD, that's coming up on the same day, is that right? July 14th?
Yes.
Okay, and there's a link also in our description for that, but I know if you go there right now, it doesn't show anything. So I think that'll pop up the day of. So just so everybody knows, you can click the link for VOD, but the VODs won't pop up until the day they're released, July 14th. But on screen right now, we've got Apple TV. It's going to be on Google Play, Prime Video, Vudu, and Microsoft Xbox. So you can watch it VOD, or you can buy the Blu-ray, or you can do all 7 options. Just do it.
Do them all. Do them all. Guys, remember, this is a great film. Not only is it a great film, but this is a Texas film. We support our Texas love and our Frightmare love for Billy, and this is definitely great. I'm really excited to get actual physical disc, myself. So.
Well, I was going to say, I wish I had control over that because I'm used to making sure the VOD link's ready and all this, but it's kind of fun to sit back and let somebody else do it. But
I can imagine.
Yeah, but what we need people to do is, even if you've seen the movie, to keep the algorithms and stuff going, We need people to go and leave reviews and stuff like that. Now, I don't want any fake reviews. If you don't like it, then tell me. I don't care. But go out and leave a review if you've seen it, even though you don't do the VOD. So that way we can get things going and get some buzz on this stuff.
Yes.
And in 20 years in the future, it's going to be me like the Angus Scrims and the Sid Haig. I'll be on my last leg and I'll be at Frightmare one last time. And there'll be this future generation that won't know. And this will be the classic movie of the time. I'll never say it'll be Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I'm hoping it is going to be a Texas legend film someday is what I do hope.
Well, I think it will.
I think it will be.
I'm a passionate supporter. I'm going to be posting a lot about this right up until the release date. So everybody that's one of our social media followers, they're not going to miss it. So I just implore everybody, please support this film. $14.99 is a killer price for a brand new release. So there's really no way that you can get out of saying I'm not going to buy that. $14.99 is where it's at. Just make it happen. Or VOD, man, if that's your thing. I'm a physical media guy, but the world's going VOD, and that seems like that's what a lot of people do now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And remember to watch past credits.
Watch the what?
Watch past post credits.
Oh yeah. Watch the post credits. Yeah, stick around. It's an Avengers type post credit sequence. What else we got? Anybody else have anything they want to talk about? Did I miss anything?
Well, I just want to jump in. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can right now.
Okay, cool. The conversation a moment ago about all the folks at Frightmare that lost Jeff and so many others. In the show on Downer, but Jeff was a great guy. There's so many. But the night that we premiered Circus of the Dead, thanks to you, Lloyd, at Frightmare, another wonderful lady who was a regular every year, she was there. She since passed away. You'll remember, after the first screen Friday night, she presented me with this. Yep. Y'all see this? It's a Parrish Randall bobblehead, okay? And she made this for me, all right? And
Carol,
sadly,
right?
Carol Holmes. Uh-huh. Carol Holmes. And then she lost, and I heard much like as I did the others. But, again, that's the kind of love you get right there. And, that's something that's really special about the show. So, as thrilled as I am to have the memories of that Friday and Saturday night premiere, because, it was standing room only. And then there were people overflowing in the house. I'll never forget Carol Holmes coming up and handing me that little doll. I couldn't believe it. And my wife has it sitting on a shelf there, so I grabbed it. But those are the memories made. And that's what Frightmare is about. That's what it's all about. Let's live together and love each other and have a good life. You never know what's going to be.
Well, I get a lot of praise for the show, but I have to give it all back to everybody that attends, the attendees and the fans, and they're really what makes it happen. I was just a guy that loved horror movies and had a crazy idea and took a chance, and everybody just came and made it happen. So that's the way I feel about it.
Yep.
And I'm just thankful for everybody, including you, Parrish, because you, like I said, you were our first vendor, and I was so damn amazed that I sold a vendor table that year. it just blew me away. But
how quick do you sell them down? Don't they sell out in a week?
I can't even put them up live. Yeah. I have to do application process now, and they call it jury selected, and I have to go through and jury select people because I just don't have enough space to sell to every vendor, and I would love to, but we've grown so fast that you get into a big venue and you're like, this is going to work for a couple of years, and then after a couple of years it's like, this isn't going to work anymore. Back to Circus of the Dead. I'm super excited about Circus of the Dead. I want everybody, all of our viewers, to go out there and support this film. Even if you have
Yes.
the old Blu-rays or the old DVDs, get on board and get the new stuff, because it's new and improved, and you want to get all Circus of the Dead that you can.
Yeah.
There we go.
Or swag.
More swag. You are the king of swag, Billy.
I'm pretty
Billy
good
is the
at
king
it.
of swag.
Yep,
My wife
yes, you are.
hates that I spend money on that, but I love the fans and would bend over backwards. So most of the stuff I do is for free. So
Yeah, you've got a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah.
I know you've got Cowboys from Hell,
Mhm.
and then you talked a little bit about Circus of the Dead too, that you guys are planning right now. What's the projected date on both of those?
well, you tell me what Corona's going to do, and I'll tell you when we're going to give you a
Exactly.
projected date, because that's killing us all right now, man. We can't get out and do nothing, and I'll be damned if I'm going to schedule anything this year until I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely. Well, that's the way everything is, Right now, it's all wait and see, and let's see. Hopefully,
Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait.
hopefully we can get somebody. These scientists can get a hold of it. I saw a meme the other day about hurry up and give House some Vicodin and a whiteboard so he can cure this COVID-19. Bill Oberst, what else can we talk about with you? Do you have any websites or anything we can plug for you?
Well, Lloyd, I started a podcast.
Okay.
And it doesn't have any advertising on it. I didn't do it to make money. I was just going crazy like everybody else with COVID. And I love Gothic horror. I was a big reader when I was a kid. So it's Edgar Allan Poe and Frankenstein and Phantom of the Opera and Dracula and all the classic literature that I grew up reading that was the basis for the first horror films. So the podcast is called Gothic Good Night, and it's on all the podcast apps. And I would be pleased if people would check it out. They're short, they're under 30 minutes, and they're really meant for bedtime. So please, God, I work hard on these. Don't put it on another tab in the middle of the damn day while you're doing your laundry. Just forget it if you're going to do that. Take it to bed with you and put it next to your pillow, and I guarantee you'll be asleep before it's over.
We will definitely, and it's called Gothic. What again? Gothic
Good Night.
Gothic Good Night.
And
We'll
it's
call it
meant to
Bill's
put you-
Lullabies.
It's meant to put you to sleep. This most recent one is the one that I'm most pleased with. We did Phantom of the Opera, and
Nice.
yeah, it's close to my heart as a monster kid. All our projects are canceled, and I just needed to reach back to why I originally loved horror, and so it's been good for me. And if people would enjoy it, I would love that.
Well, I know we're
echo
going to
that.
watch
That's
it or listen. I'm
well,
sorry.
we already have somebody said they subscribed, Todd Seeley. So good.
Oh, it's good, but so it's basically take Bill to bed with you.
Yeah,
That's right.
his beautiful lullabies will put you to
Yeah.
sleep.
Pon, better you than me, but I'll
Yeah.
take your sloppy seconds.
Hey, I'm gonna throw my wife under the bus. She said she had this 2 nights ago. She goes, "Yeah, I had a dream. I was at a horror convention and my little grandbaby was there with her." But she said, "You were nowhere around. I was there with Bill." I go, "What the hell is that all about?"
That's right.
So that you even popped in her head.
Bill, where are you originally from?
I am from South Carolina, so I'm a Southern boy too.
I was going to say I'm picking up on a little bit of a Southern accent, so
The more relaxed I
Wait.
get, the more it comes out.
yeah, I could pick it up there. It was towards the end here that I really started picking up on that. I was like, hey, we got another Southern boy.
Oh, absolutely, man. And there's a lot of Southern horror fans. A lot of these really like tough ass guys that wear the tool belts and all, they like them some horror.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Parrish, do you have anything that we can plug for you? Do you have a website or anything that you want to talk about coming up?
Yeah, obviously the website, you Google it. I go through Wix. It's free,
Sure.
Parrish Randall, not Wix.com actor. But I have 2 films completed, actually 3. One shot up in Ohio called Fun, F-U-N, where I play a father to a young lady who is, let's just say she's assaulted, and daddy goes on the warpath, and a lot of, it's a violent action kind of thriller. and it was there. It was still premiering several things just when the whole shutdown occurred. So hopefully soon people will be seeing that. Hopefully the COVID thing will be gotten under control. People can see fun. The other one is Hair Metal Shotgun Zombie Massacre, which is playing at various drive-ins this week, starting this week. And then the third one is Rift. I have to see Ryan play a very crooked cop. And so there you go. I've got those three films. Again, upcoming is Cowboys from Hell for my buddy Billy there. And so that's what's going on with my life.
All right, so we got Fun, we got Rift, is that right? And then we've got Hair Metal Shotgun Zombies.
Zombie meme.
Massacre.
Hair Metal Shotgun Zombie Massacre.
I'm actually very familiar with that film, but I have a hard time remembering all the words in the title. But I've seen that movie. I love that film. It's a really good flick.
And different things. So yeah, just you'll be pleasantly surprised when you see the final cut all these years later.
It's really good. It's a good flick, and like Parrish was saying, is you can watch that. It's doing a little drive-in tour right now. It's directed by Josh Vargas. He's another Texas filmmaker. So check that out, and if you see it at your local drive-in, go see it.
Yeah.
And
drive in and watch it.
Yeah, and if you don't see it at a local drive-in, reach out to your local drive-in and ask them to play that. Speaking of drive-ins, Billy, was that ever an opportunity you thought of, as playing Circus with the way drive-ins are doing so well right now?
We were close. I pushed Dread on it to see if they were interested. They said it was just it's been out so long they're having a hard time convincing or something like that. So they did talk about it, and I was hoping. But like I said, it didn't hurt my feelings in the past. I'd have been crushed and cried, but it is what it is. It's gonna turn out good no matter what happens to it. So
that's right.
It's true.
We can play it in my backyard, and everybody's welcome to come over and pile in. We'll have a big Corona party.
Yeah, with their mask.
With their mask on.
With your mask.
I'll have Bill wear his prosthetic penis over.
He'll chase people with it.
All right, Mr. Pon. What else can we talk about? Do you want to plug some websites or?
Nah, just go to Dread Central and get Circus of the Dead right now, or watch it on VOD, or leave a review. Other than that, just leave me alone. Tell people don't write me, don't call me, leave me alone. I get those messages all the time that'll go, hey, and I'll go, hey, and I go, hi, and I go, hi. It's like I don't understand. It's like, say what you're going to say and let's get moving. Because, ever since Circus taken off, I get a lot of weird, strange things. And from other countries, too, and I could tell they're using some kind of, translation, because it doesn't make half a lick of sense. So, but, I don't have anything to plug or nothing like that. I just wish this Corona would get over with so we can get on with some filmmaking.
Let's
get on with some conventions,
Charles, do you have any other questions that you want to float out there to the guys?
No, I'm just happy they joined us, and I'm excited to see this come out, and we're looking forward to July 14th, guys. So get your orders in and get ready.
Absolutely.
Now, Lloyd, I got one thing. I ain't gonna be somebody to gripe or nothing, but I got a photo op with Art the Clown.
Mm-hmm.
I will be good. I won't cause no trouble. I've talked to David a lot. We're pretty good friends, but that's a moment that needs to be captured on camera, probably, that I think a lot of people would like to see us meeting for the first time. So.
Oh, absolutely. I love that. You guys have a nice little fun back and forth going on online. And
a little rapport, yeah.
Well, it's I use them to piggyback on, but I respect what the heck they did, because to get eyes on an indie film and get that kind of attention, it is hard, you guys. It's like catching lightning in a bottle or something. It's so tough to do. So, kudos to those guys. But with that said, we're coming for you, Terrifier. We're coming for you.
Yeah, we had Damien and David on a few weeks ago, and they're a blast, man. They're really cool dudes.
He's good. I'd like to see Bill and David act opposite of each other too, because they're both would be good jokers in real life, and I think that because that's where I met David at, was on MySpace as playing a Joker cosplay. But that's the only thing I hated about that. I would have liked to see him talk his art, but he was just as creepy not talking. But he's a good talker too. So
Yeah. Richard Nettleson has a question before we let you guys go. He says, will we see a Magic Mike remake directed by Billy Pon starring the Circus of the Dead cast?
Oh, I hope.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ryan and Rusty and Little Mike and Parrish and Bill look good as strippers. Nobody threw my name in there though, thankfully. So
That's why they call it horror.
yeah.
Exactly.
We're going to do a Tiger King remake with Parrish is what we're going to do.
There you go.
Yeah. I saw that and I said, holy crap, that's Parrish.
I saw a lot of people on Facebook saying that Parrish would be perfect to play the Tiger King. Are you up for that, Parrish?
Lord.
I don't know what you just said because you sound like a robot right now. Well, I think that's a yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you come in a little bit every now and then, but hey, listen, guys, I could talk to you guys all day about Circus of the Dead.
Yeah.
We just want to encourage everybody to support the film. Links are in the description of the video. Make sure you go visit those. Support Circus of the Dead. And thank you to Parrish and Bill and Billy so much for coming on today. It's truly an honor to have you guys on. Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you guys too. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much for having us.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's it. We are going to go ahead and just end the stream now. And we'll see y'all later. Thank y'all. Horns up.